Out here in the chop shop making a smoking sack out of this hide. This great big one that I just showed you on the other video. And right here on the neck, right around the edge, I just really couldn't work it. So it's about that much of it that got stiff. And when the hide gets stiff, I wanted to show you what really happens to it. You notice it looks fluffy on the outside, that's the grain side, that's inside. And the flesh side, all that looks fuzzy and white, like it's got soft, but you can see that it's, it's really stiff. What happens is this hide works, when you're drying it, you're basically just evaporating, which works on the surface. So what happened is I managed to allow this to set up in the rawhide. I trimmed the rough edges off so I could glue it together, make a smoking sack out of it. And you can see at the top, which is the inside of the hide, got really fluffy. You can see that on the surface, the outside, grain side, got pretty fluffy. But right in the middle, it's set up in the rawhide. I really expected more of it to get stiff like this because it's so big and thick and just tough to work. So we consider this lucky to really only lose that much on the neck. Probably I'm going to cut this off. It's so thick, I'm probably going to cut this off and use it for shoe soles anyway. So when I cut it off, I'll, after it's been smoked, rebrain it, and it should be able to soften this a lot easier after it's been smoked some. Something else I wanted to mention is the illusion, the idea that this thing is going to be symmetrical when you're done with it. For the most part, it's similar around the edges, but this thing's been stretched and contorted and softened and pulled different ways. There's no way this thing is going to be symmetrical anymore. As you can tell by this neck area right here, it would normally be something like that, but in order to put it together into a smoking sack, we have to bend things around and make them fit. I don't mind trimming this hard part off the very edge if it helps it lay flatter and meet better. You might lose, quarter inch here and 1/8 inch there. That's really not going to matter. You can use this, all your little trimmings, you can throw them in a pot, boil them down, make hide glue out of them to use next time. I just thought I would point out that this thing is not going to be symmetrical. You're going to end up with little bunches in places like this. Normally around the legs, be bunched and pinched together and odd shaped. Sometimes the belly does. Usually around the legs, neck's pretty hard to get symmetrical. I'm guessing we're about halfway around this hide putting it together, mostly just the belly part left. When I have a hole in it, I like to pinch it on itself on the flesh side. And little bitty holes, like where ticks get, I just put a drop of glue on there, and that seals it. This thing needs to be airtight to smoke effectively.